what makes the lion a ruler wary. The tragic song of rage and revenge. The obsession of both hunter and prey. The Great Serengeti War, the rage of the buffalo and amp, the revenge that haunts the lions. The Serengeti, one of the greatest natural battlefields on the planet. Where the grasslands stretch to the horizon, the rainy season brings huge herds of migrating animals, while the dry season turns the land into a harsh sea of the dust. Here, every breath carries the taste of life and death. Every day is a challenge, where life and death are only a heartbeat apart. And in the midst of that fierce picture, there is one that makes even the kings of the grassland wary: the African buffalo. With a massive body, an adult buffalo can weigh nearly a ton, be more than 3 meters long and nearly 1.5 meters tall. The rippling muscles under the shiny black skin make them look like living steel blocks. The large, curved horns intersect into a thick bony plate on the forehead, forming a natural shield strong enough to block the claws of a lion. This is a weapon for both defense and attack, turning them into invulnerable warriors on the grasslands. Wild buffalo are living, moving fortresses. It is not by chance that this animal is called the Black Death. A harsh warning for any predator who dares to challenge it. But the most terrifying point is not in its size, but in its herd instinct. Hundreds, even thousands of individuals form a unified block, ready to turn around and face instead of running away. They protect their young as if they were protecting the very existence of the herd. The natural world calls them prey. But in the Serengeti, wild buffalo are also pairs of horns that fight relentlessly. From afar, the silhouettes of predators have appeared. In silence, the lioness lowered her body. Her eyes locked on a buffalo in the herd right in front of her. The moment of waiting ended. The lion aimed straight at the prey. It seemed like she had had a full meal. Suddenly, the whole herd of buffaloes turned to counterattack. The aggressive horns pushed back the predator. Perhaps today, the lion would have to put aside the meal and wait for another opportunity. The strength of the wild buffalo does not lie in one individual, but in the combined strength of the herd. It is the living wall that makes even lions falter. However, behind that steel armor, a weakness always exists. That is when life begins. The female buffalo has to be pregnant for nearly 11 months before giving birth to a single calf. From the moment of birth, the calf has to face a harsh challenge. Just a few hours after birth, it is forced to stand up, learn to run, and keep up with the herd. In the world of the Serengeti, slowness is always an invitation to death. The breeding season of the buffalo is often associated with rains and more abundant food sources. It is also the time when the males enter fierce duels for the right to mate. The duels affirm the strength of the winner, and only the strongest males have the opportunity to pass on their bloodline. Those first steps make them the prime target for all predators. Time passes. Another day on the grasslands, the Serengeti sun shines down again. From the tall grass, a golden shadow silently approaches. Each step, the lion pride stomps down without a sound. Their eyes fix on the calf that is lagging behind the herd. The predator never forgets defeat. They were no longer like before. Now the whole herd coordinated, surrounding the prey. Suddenly, they charged forward one by one. The mother buffalo's resistance was only a desperate effort. Before the combined strength and siege tactics of the whole herd, the calf collapsed. This time, victory belonged to the lions. The tragic ending ended with the mother buffalo's defeat. The unity was not enough to save the calf. And the lions proved that they never miss a second chance. This was a victory, an affirmation of the power of the Serengeti's top predator. After the dramatic hunt, the atmosphere on the grassland calmed down. The lions lay in the sparse shade. The lion cubs began to play. They jumped on each other's backs and bit the mother lion's tail, their innocent eyes in the midst of the land tinged with the color of life and death. This was a rare moment when the harsh grassland revealed its gentleness. Lion, symbol of power and dominance. With a solid body of more than 2 meters long, the thick mane covering the neck of the males like proud warriors of the grassland. Sharp fangs, precise pounces, and muscular strength make them capable of bringing down prey many times their weight. But individual strength has never been their real secret. The lion's most formidable weapon is the coordination of the pride. The females patiently lurk, the males play the role of domination, together creating an impenetrable siege. And like the buffalo, their lives are sustained by other battles. The decisive battles for mating rights. A mature male lion, his thick mane flowing down, each step filled with challenge. The intruder has arrived. On the sun-scorched grassland, the male lions silently face each other. Their deep roars, their fiery eyes locked together. They charge in. The victor stands tall in the grassland, roaring loudly to affirm his position. Only the strong are qualified to pass on the bloodline and protect the legacy of the pride. It is from these brutal wars that the lion's breeding season will return after this period. The female, after a pregnancy of nearly 4 months, will give birth to lion cubs. The roars subside. The battlefield of the rulers temporarily closes. The Serengeti puts on its usual quiet coat. On the vast grassland, the herd of antelopes leisurely grazes. Their small bodies, weighing less than 40 kilograms, their slender curved horns and their golden brown fur with black stripes running down their sides. All make them a perfect part of the vast sea of doe grass. They live in large herds, thanks to which they can be alert and escape when danger is near. During the rainy season, the antelope enters the breeding season. After more than 5 months of pregnancy, the female gives birth to a single calf. The calves can stand up, run, and join the harsh rhythm of the grasslands just a few hours after birth. In this moment, they look like symbols of silence. But that is only on the surface. On the grasslands, all life is connected by invisible strings of vigilance. Every breath, every movement is observed, heard. In the Serengeti, there are more than just noisy royal battles. In another corner, in the almost absolute silence, another survival strategy is taking place. Leopard. Unlike lions, leopards are solitary creatures. They only come together during mating season, when males and females temporarily bond. After 3 months of pregnancy, the female will give birth to 2 or 3 cubs. The entire burden of raising them falls on the mother, who must hunt for food while protecting her cubs from countless threats. With a muscular body, nearly 2 meters long, including the long balancing tail, leopards are masters of agility. Their golden fur covered with black flecks helps them disappear into the grass. Their powerful jaws, precise pounces, and superb climbing instincts make them silent but fearsome predators. They feed on small antelopes, monkeys, and even birds. They have a habit of carrying their prey up trees to avoid being robbed, a characteristic that no other large predator can do. Leopards do not dominate by violence, but choose the silent path. They move, taking advantage of the color and pattern of their fur to blend into the grass. Most of the time, they hunt at dusk or in the dark, when the dim light makes their silhouettes almost invisible. Patience is their greatest weapon. They can stalk a prey for hours, just waiting for the right moment. But solitude also brings danger. Leopard cubs are even more fragile, with only half the survival rate, because any mistake can cost them their lives. Unlike lions that hunt in packs, leopards choose the solitary path. But that also makes them always vigilant. In this grassland, predators lurk not far away. After a long day of patience, the leopard kills a small antelope. It prepares for a rare feast. From afar, eerie laughter rings out. Contrary to their shabby appearance, hyenas are masters of survival. They live in a matriarchal society where large and dominant females control the entire herd. Not only are they predators, up to 70% of their food comes from active hunting. With formidable combined tactics. The jaws were extremely strong, the strongest of all carnivores, capable of crushing large bones, allowing them to make use of every remaining piece of food. The enemy closed in, eyes shining in the evening light. They aimed straight at the newly hunted prey. The leopard growled defiantly. It knew that a fight on the ground was risky. For a moment, it seemed like it would lose the meal. There was only one way out. Suddenly, the leopard charged straight. A familiar tactic, dragging the prey up a tall tree. The feast was its again. But the hyenas did not give up easily. They still waited patiently. In the Serengeti, even when the victory was won, the predators were never completely at peace. And when the hyenas and leopards had left, the ground was still littered with the life that had just been taken, and that was the signal for the cleaners. From above, dark shadows began to circle. The heavy flapping of wings broke the silence. Vultures. They do not hunt, but they are the final link in the vicious cycle of the Serengeti. They are the ones who clean up the battlefield after every deadly battle. With a wingspan of up to 3 meters, a heavy but durable body, vultures can soar for hours on the wind alone, almost effortlessly. Their keen eyes allow them to detect carcasses or signs of predation from dozens of kilometers away. Unlike lions or leopards, vultures do not hunt. They wait, circling patiently until the roaring stops, or when the smell of corpses lingers. At the slightest sign, a flock of dozens, even hundreds of them will turn the sky into a storm of black wings. The crowding is chaotic, but it still follows an invisible order. Each layer of vultures takes turns approaching, leaving only white bones on the ground. They often appear after the big predators have retreated, or when the battle is still in progress. In the Serengeti, they are the silent cleaners of nature. Cleaning up what is left, preventing diseases from spreading from corpses, and restoring balance to the grasslands. On the battlefield of life and death, vultures are not warriors, but proof that even death has value to nourish this endless cycle. On the harsh land of Serengeti, where every breath carries the smell of life and death, life not only endures, but also rises strongly after each challenge. Each species affirms its bravery in its own way, by strength, solidarity, speed, or patience. It is the diversity in survival strategies, combined with the harsh cycle of life and death, that has created a secret Serengeti, an immortal symbol of wild nature. In your opinion, which species is truly the ruler of the Serengeti grasslands? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future adventures in the wild. The battle for survival in the Serengeti, under the fiery sunset of the Serengeti savanna. A young hyena hiding in a crevice witnessed his mother being torn apart by a pride of lions amid the dust and roars. From that moment on, darkness became his first companion. In the vast grasslands, where every ray of sunlight carries a warning and every shadow conceals a hunt, Kiba the hyena now walks silently. No longer a pack, no longer a territory, she is the embodiment of solitude and also a symbol of extraordinary tenacity. The spotted hyena, Crocuta crocuta, is the most social carnivore in the wild, contrary to popular belief. They are not just scavengers. In fact, more than 70% of their food is hunted. And in the matriarchal society of spotted hyenas, the females are strong, powerful, and often cruel. Kiba was once part of such a pack. When the leader grew old and power passed, she was young, without allies, without a mother to back her up, and became an outcast. Her clan abandoned her as if she had never been in the pack, pushing Kiba out of their territory, leaving her to face the bare savanna, where no one survives alone. Alone, she crossed the territory of the hyena's natural enemy, the lion. On the dry grasslands, she avoided the ferocious African wild dogs, hid from the eagles, and stalked carrion like a vulture. Her keen sense of smell was one of the hyena's most powerful weapons, helping her detect food from miles away. But survival did not mean living with purpose. Until one day, after a bloody battle between lions and another pack of hyenas, Kiba stumbled upon something rare, a pack of shivering, exhausted hyena cubs with no surviving mother. They were too young to survive on their own in this harsh land, eyes that had not yet understood danger, hungry bellies that had never hunted for themselves. In a moment, instincts were torn apart. She slowed down, growled softly, and did not attack. She led the young cubs out of the killing field, like a reluctant mother born from the fire of bullets. From there, a strange alliance was born, an abandoned female hyena and a pack of homeless cubs. Kiba trained them as if they were his own blood, teaching them how to stalk prey at night. When hyenas are most active thanks to their superior vision in the dark, teaching them how to use their laugh that echoed up to 5 kilometers, not only to communicate, but also to assert power and warn enemies. Soon, Kiba's steady and decisive presence began to send out a silent signal across the vast savanna. The scent of the territory was clearly marked. The laughter that spread far into the night was no longer a cry for help, but a declaration of a new pack growing stronger by the day. Young female hyenas, who had been abandoned by the pack because they were weak or had failed in the power struggle, gradually arrived. Each one carried their own wounds, both physical and psychological. But in Kiba's steady gaze, they were no longer deserters, but part of something bigger. The scene was dusk. The air was thick with the heat of the dying day. The tall grass rustled in the wind. A group of hyenas led by Kiba crawled silently low in the grass, their eyes fixed on a distant target, a herd of Cape buffalo moving slowly, among which was a cub that had lost its rhythm. The hunt began. The hyenas chased, scattering the buffalo herd. The roars, the hooves pounding the ground, and the panicked screams of the cubs echoed in the air. The silence that followed was not peaceful. But orderly. But the surprises did not stop there. Not long after, the sound of flapping wings rang out from the sky. Bearded vultures and white-backed vultures swooped down, closing the circle. Instead of chasing them away, some hyenas retreated, leaving the leftover meat to them. At their feet, lines of African soldier ants began to crawl over the carcass, slowly but persistently gnawing at the remaining corners of the bones. This was no longer the usual scene of fighting. It was a temporary ecological community where a downed prey became a source of life for the entire ecosystem, from the top hyenas, the vultures in the air, to the diligent army of ants on the ground. In that picture, Kiba sat silently at the edge. She observed like a leader, a keeper of the temporary rhythm of balance between predators, scavengers, and rebirth. From the edge of the feeding ground, a small figure appeared, slender, alert, and moving as light as smoke. A black-backed jackal, a species known for its intelligence, independence, and rare companionship with larger predators. But what caught everyone's attention were the two cubs trembling close to its feet. Skinny and exhausted, it was clear that mother and cub were fleeing something more terrible than hunger itself. Kiba turned her head. Her eyes met the female jackal's. No bowing, no pleading, just a silent declaration between species. I have nowhere else to go.
And as a new season approaches,
the jackal entered, slowly but unflinchingly. The remaining hyenas watched silently. remaining hyenas watched silently. No one objected. No one pushed them away. In the society Kiba had created, an outsider with the courage to come was worthy of a chance. The sun rose above the Serengeti horizon, dyeing the tall grasses golden, chasing away the remaining chill from the darkness. The wind changed direction, carrying the scent of damp earth, dry dust, and the breath of a new day. As Kiba and the hyenas fell asleep scattered among the mounds, in the distant world of the open forest, another figure was awakening. In the distance, moonlight gently glided over the dewy grass. On the edge of a low bush, the caracal lynx quietly lay in ambush. Its bright yellow eyes reflected the moonlight. Its black-tipped ears stood erect like antennas to catch the slightest movement. In front of it, a few meters away, a gray-headed pheasant was pecking at the ground, completely unguarded. A single leap was enough for the lynx to leap forward with incredible speed and precision, hitting its target even in the darkness. In an instant, its body shot up like a red lightning bolt, fast, clean and unerring. The caracal bit lightly on the neck, ending the life of its prey silently. It turned its head, holding its prize in its mouth, intending to bring it back to its nest. But then, another sound rang out, not the sound of a mouse, nor the sound of the wind, but the low, deep, echoing laughter that was unmistakably the hyenas. From the bushes on the other side, Kiba stepped out. Her cold eyes looked at Caracal and the prey lying at her feet. Behind her, two young hyenas approached gently, but without hesitation. They did not growl, did not threaten, but the pack was already in a dominant position. Caracal growled softly, taking a step back. She was a lone hunter, fast and fierce, but not stupid. Facing three hyenas including Kiba, she knew the difference in strength was undeniable. In silence, Caracal let go of the pheasant, her eyes shining with silent anger. Kiba did not attack. She simply bowed her head, picked up the prey, and turned away. Caracal stood there, alone in the darkness, among the remains of the stolen hunt. But she did not leave immediately. She watched as if remembering, as if waiting. In the savanna, the hunter is not always the one who eats. Caracal quietly retreated into the night, his shadow fading into the wind-swept grass. The sky above the Serengeti was still glowing with a silvery gray moon, as if witnessing an unspoken law. There is no justice here, only the strong and those who wait their time. High above, where the acacia branches stretched out among the sea of grass, another pair of eyes was watching all the martial Polymatus bellicosus, the largest eagle in Africa. sharp eyes scanned the grasslands, detecting every small movement of a mouse, a snake, or even a young antelope. With a wingspan of nearly 2 meters, powerful muscles, and claws strong enough to take down a baboon, the martial eagle is a predator from the skies, where no beast on the ground dares to raise its head to challenge it. But today, the ruler of the sky's eyes do not stop at large prey. It gradually shifts southward, where a small group of meerkats are starting their day under the thorn bushes. One stands highest on the mound, eyes constantly scanning the sky for sentinels. The others spread out around the area, scratching at the ground, picking up plump grubs, earthworms, and small lizards. Occasionally a young one waddles by, its back still streaked with uneven feathers. Marshall's eagle lowers its head, eyes fixed on every movement. To it, a fat, slow, and careless young meerkat is the perfect prey. But the meerkats are not naive. Every time a large bird flew across the sky, the sentinel would immediately send out a short but sharp screech, like a knife cutting into the peace. Immediately, the whole flock stopped, pricked up its ears, and disappeared into its burrow like water retreating to the ground. Marshall hesitated. He chose not to dive down, not because he couldn't, but because the timing wasn't right. He continued to observe from afar, silent as a ghost among the clouds. The meerkats gradually emerged from their small burrows after the alarm screech had stopped. They quietly continued their foraging work, although their ears were still strained, their eyes constantly glancing up at the sky. For them, safety was never absolute. Only temporary. From the low grass, hidden under the thorn bushes, a black-backed jackal, an individual temporarily separated from Kiba's pack. Was quietly approaching. As an opportunistic hunter, it had been accepted into the alliance by Kiba, but today it had chosen to hunt alone, not in a pack. It knew this place was a land of dens, but also of easy access to food. And meerkats, especially young or stray ones, were easy prey for a hunter with a keen sense of smell and quick feet like it. The jackal moved step by step, crouching low to the ground, ears pricked, nose sniffing the dry, harsh air. It detected the rustling of a stray meerkat pup behind the nest, a short distance from the sentinel. Opportunity, it shot out of the bushes like a living arrow. But at that moment a high-pitched screech rang out from the sentinel. The meerkats disappeared underground in seconds, and the pup escaped, leaving the jackal standing at the edge of the hole alone and defeated. In Kiba's world, the jackal had found its place, but outside of that territory, it was still a wanderer, driven away by both instinct and the invisible boundaries between species. The sun burned yellow on the steppe, the wind swirled dry dust mixed with the scent of old blood. high mound, Kiba stood motionless, her eyes fixed on the southern horizon. She sensed something approaching, not prey, not wanderers, but the past. From afar, silhouettes began to appear through the swirling heat. Heads held high, ears erect, a familiar gait, like a nightmare from a long time ago. It was the old pack of hyenas, those who had abandoned her, now returning, not to find Kiba, but to reclaim the land that was rising under her leadership. Kiba did not roar, did not run. She simply turned her head, and in an instant, her entire pack stood up behind her. The hyena cubs she had raised, the forgotten females, the jackals and the small packs that followed, an alliance unlike any other, but bound by blood, hunger, faith. The wordless battle began. The old pack had lost. Dusk fell over the Serengeti. On the top of a knoll, Kiba stood among her pack, her ears scarred and fur-furred by battle, but her eyes as bright as when she first emerged from the darkness. She was surrounded by creatures that the savanna had once rejected. Hyena pups, jackals, even a few strange figures who came here believing that this was where they could survive and belong. From being cast out, Kiba became a symbol of something greater than strength, the ability to accept, protect, and lead. Her pack was not perfect. But it was resilient, cohesive, and built not by genetics, but by will. In the Serengeti, where every dawn is a battle for survival, the name Kiba is no longer a ghost, it is a legend.